Hey folks, and welcome to another video from A Plain Truth. I've been covering a lot of the body of work in the physical realm, also the health we've been covering. So we've got mind and body, but I want to get more into the spiritual side of things, the looking up into the heavens, understanding the much greater realm, the realms of existence, the four heavens above, the four hellish realms, and all the much greater understanding of our theocosmogony and astrotheology. And the last couple days, we just passed over into autumn equinox, where sun and moon are equal for the same day. Very religious, very pagan as in the ancient times. Here we see Da Vinci's picture of the Last Supper. It's divided up into the four seasons for a reason, because they were astrotheologists. They slept out on the ground. They got earth consciousness. They did not have rubber under their feet to disconnect them from earth consciousness like we do. They also looked at the stars every night and understood that the stars, the heavens, the luminaries were our guides. That's why the Mayan calendar from December 21st, 2012, 5,000 year stone written to that exact time, was referencing that we were crossing over from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere, not only in the Great Rift and the Milky Way above, but also inside our consciousness as well, where we'll be able to download both left and right hemisphere consciousness. And that's why the internet and whatnot has brought us, so we could learn and grow our spiritual development. This is a time of great learning. We've never had access. No humans have ever all had this kind of access that have internet and to books in any other time in history. All right, so when we look up in the skies as the ancients did when they lived in outdoors in nature, not behind glass buildings, glass walls, and glass cars, we saw that the sun was apparently moving down and starting to hang on the Southern Cross. This is the whole Christ event. So on August 21st, it would move down below the equator and apparently hang on the Southern Cross for 3 months until December 22nd, when the sun died, S-U-N, died on the cross. For 3 days it died until December 25th, when the Son of God has risen. The sun was coming up again. The resurrection was April 1st, which we now call April Fool's Day, which paganism was the first day of the year, because food was beginning to grow. The sprig that you see, the ram's cross of Aries in astrology, is also the sprig that grows through the earth that starts the first seedlings into the sunlight. Taurus is the bull that plows the fields, and Virgo, the virgin we're in now, holds the sheaths of wheat in the abundance of the harvest. But when you get into the Christmas time, it's based on the Southern Cross and the sun's position and it rising so they could grow food again. And then we have the peace sign, which is also a cross. We have the peace sign I used to think was meant for nuclear disarmament. These are pinafores. They used to have flags signaling naval ships, but actually it's the cross of Nero, another sign that mocks the cross of Jesus, also known as, quote, the dead man ruin. It appears on the tombstones of some of Hitler's troops as well. Why would they be buried upside down? Are they mocking us? Is this another mockery of the Christ event? And they're turning it upside down and saying the peace event is mocking Jesus Christ. It's just one more piece of their occult black magic symbolism that needs to be looked into and understood. But we need to understand what we have, what we want, and what we're here for. And if everyone says they want peace on earth, well, why should we only rest in peace? Why don't we live in peace too? Again, it's an inward journey. We're looking outward, and all of the hell that's going on in the world right now is forcing us inward to see who we are and what we're made of. Look at all the symbology, folks, over time of peace. Man wants peace, yet we've never been able to achieve peace on earth, yet that's what our stated intentions are if we go into our hearts of hearts. And here we see that Hitler was used another tool to be mocked with the sign of the swastika, which was actually a reversed energy. When it revolves in a clockwise rotation, it's got good energy, and when it's rotating a negative energy, it's counterclockwise. It's the symbol of life. And they've reversed it. That's how they do the black occult magic. They reverse it, but you go around Tibet, you see this on the doors everywhere, because these people have it as the power of life, the energy force of life rotating in concert with Earth's vibrational frequencies and the cosmos vibrational frequencies. And did you know the Big Dipper? The Big Dipper is the clock they used to rely on. They didn't need watches. They didn't need digital clocks. They had the Big Dipper, the North Star. That's how they could tell the different seasons, by looking up into the heavens and understanding where the North Star is. They could understand the times of the seasons. And so, again, this is a big cross in the sky. But the powers that be, the Jesuits, the Vatican, the 13 satanic bloodline families that Fitz Springmeier writes about, they use the cross, the Leviathan cross, they invert it and they pervert it, and they use the symbology. Symbology rules and images rule the world. We dream in images. So that's what they do. They program over the images. Exxon with the lower double X, that's a double cross. They're double crossing us all the time, folks. They're showing us how they double cross us. The American Lung Association, cure cancer, right? They haven't cured anything. They're double crossing us for a long time. The Rothschilds, Roth means red, Child means shield, the shield and the cross. Christopher Columbus, the only thing he discovered was that he was lost. The Knights of Malta use the same symbology as the Hitler cross or the German cross as well. And it's also part of astrotheology, which makes up the seasons. This is all how they invert and pervert sacred symbolism. And this is why they have the crosses on all the flags. It's all the same team, folks. And they just are telling you in plain sight that they're double crossing you. All these artificial geoengineered disasters where they make all this money of people donating, innocently donating to help others, and they're keeping the money and giving the people nothing. A year anniversary to Puerto Rico. All right, so let's get into our help, our archangels, the archons, the different entities that once we start on the path start assisting us. Some of you may understand that once you start on this path of awakening and enlightening, that the angels will be coming to help you, the subtle bodies that are coming around to help us. And right now we have in our wheelhouse the archangel Michael, and Michael is one of the best to help us in the healing of what we need right now. So like there are 7 sacred planets, there are 7 archangels as well. And this is the time of Archangel Raphael and Michael. Raphael, whose name means God's heals, is the archangel designated for physical and emotional healing. In the Hebrew word, Raphi means to heal. Archangel Raphael not only helps in healing individuals, but also helps healers in their healing practice. He can reduce addictions and cravings, is powerful in healing other injuries as illnesses, with cures often occurring immediately. This specific archangel aids in restoring and maintaining harmony and peace. Also the patron of travelers, watching over them to ensure a safe and harmonious journey. Working in conjunction with Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael helps to clear the way away fears and stress that may be adversely is affecting your health. And there are also 7 sacred planets, 7 days of the week, and 7 basic metals that are all coinciding with the different symbols. Sun is the sun day, made of gold. And then we have silver, the moon day, made of silver. And then we have Tuesday, Mars, iron. We have Wednesday, Mercury. We have Thursday, Jupiter, which is tin, Friday, Venus, which is copper, and Saturday, Saturn, Saturn's day, which is lead. All based on theocosmogony, all based on astrotheology. But we still have the signs of the 7 archangels, and I want to read a little bit from a piece here that I found on the internet, and I thought it would be a little appropriate here given the time of the season we're at now. The Archangel Michael presides over the autumn equinox. On this day, the sun inaugurates a new cycle as it enters Libra. Fruits and nuts fall from the trees and decompose, leaving their empty husks on the ground. Grains are sorted and consumed or stored before being sown to ensure a new cycle of growth. But this process of decomposition and sorting is not something that concerns only the world of plants. It also concerns human beings. Just as the fruit separates from the tree, and the seed or stone separates from the fruit, so the soul is separated from the body, spirituality if not physically. The body is in an envelope, the wrapping, and the soul is the seed that is planted above in the soil of heaven. Human beings are fruit, and when they are ripe, they must not fall to the ground like the fruits and the seeds of earth, but soar away to heaven. Autumn is the season for that separation of which Hermes Trismegistus speaks, quote, "You shall separate the subtle from the gross, gently and with great skill," end quote. To separate the subtle from the gross is to separate the spiritual from the material, and the whole of nature undergoes this process of separation in autumn in preparation for the coming of new life. Just as the Archangel Michael comes to separate the soul from the body, leaving the body to die, so initiates allow some matter within them to die in order to liberate life. Separation is a law of life. You can see this from the respect to food, for instance. We have to sort and separate the good from the bad, discard the peel and the blemishes, and so on. This is so easy to do on the material level, but we must also know how to do it and be capable of doing it on the spiritual level. Unfortunately, on that level, it is very difficult. Most people have no idea what to cut out or throw away. They swallow everything whole, like cats swallowing mice, with the skin and the entrails and everything. This, then, is what we have to learn from the Archangel Michael. Discrimination. How to choose and what to choose. How to separate from the pure from the impure. The useful from the useless. The harmful from the beneficial. The dead from the living. The absence of discernment in this respect is the cause of all misfortunes. The Archangel Michael separates the soul from the body because the soul has to travel and visit faraway places, not remain forever on earth. An initiate who sees how nature does things says, quote, "My soul is tied down. How can I set it free? How can I separate it from the heavy coating of matter? I must wait until it is ripe, and then the Archangel Michael will come and release it from the sheath of matter." The Feast of St. Michael is fabulously rich in the meaning for those who understand that can bring them total liberation. Meaning for those who understand that it can bring them total liberation.